Hello, my name is Joyce Barnett Cameron, and I'm here to talk about a tribute to a lovely lady. Her name is Janie Eastman Pierce. A community mother is highly respected and shared and adored at her 99th birthday party. It was held September 7th at the Tanner Gardens House of Senior Citizens, 4420 South 18th Place. Mrs. Janie O. Johnson Eastman, who has been a wife in Arizona for over 50 years, celebrated her 99th birthday with relatives, friends, and some of the babies she delivered. Mrs. Eastman's brother, Johnny Johnson, at that time was 84, from Los Angeles, California, and he also shared in the joy of her 99th birthday. The party started with the dinner, preceded by a special poem read by Mrs. Pratt, a friend of Mrs. Eastman's, as a tribute to Mrs. Eastman. Mrs. Eastman expressed her joy in what a blessing it is to be able to have reached the age of 99 and to be able to look back on all of the old times and thank God for the new times. God has really blessed me, and I just love all my children, said Mrs. Eastman. When asked how she has started her maternity work, Mrs. Eastman said, school training teachers would come and form a meeting for certificate maternity workers and teach us about delivering babies. Mrs. Eastman has been married twice. Her first husband was Johnny L. Pierce, and the marriage lasted 55 years until his death in 1957. Her second husband was Mac Elma Eastman. That marriage lasted 15 years until his death in 1972. I had one child who died and one miscarried, she said. Other than that, I never had any children of my own, but I took care of and raised my sister-in-law's children like my own after their mother passed away. I don't know exactly how many babies I've delivered, but my files are full. Years of experience I've come to know, and I've enjoyed watching all my children grow up, Mrs. Eastman said. She also had the pleasure of delivering generations of families locally in Phoenix. She has one brother who is 84. My health has failed me, she explains, so I'm not under the care of a doctor. Mrs. Bernice Evans and Mrs. Ann Johnson, her nieces, take care of her. Bernice and Elma sees to it that I have everything I need. They take me out riding, to the bank, and to the stores, Mrs. Eastman said. When you get home, remember to thank God for what you're doing and being able to do it. I love my children, and many years of being a maternity worker has been an exciting time for me, as they were to each new mother, Mrs. Eastman concluded.